Alrighty, hello everyone, my name's Soundproof and welcome to this Tower of Fantasy video where today I'm going to be telling y'all a few tips on how you can improve your gameplay just so you can make things easier for yourself. You don't have to make the game as stressful, and it'll be a nice quality of life improvement to your gameplay and making you have a better time with the game. So let's get started with, I'm going to be talking about relics first. So relics are basically these little items that you use that will allow you to access things that you couldn't otherwise, or allow you to get some of the nuclei that are around the maps. And so if I go to here, you can see that if you go to deploy, you can actually make different sets for your relics. So basically what I have here set up is jetpack and omnium. This is from like my exploration set. The next one I have basically like a combat set for PvE, and for the last set I have basically a kind of like odd stuff relics, like the cube you use to get some nuclei, and also the jet board is also kind of like, you use the jet board sometimes to get across the water but not always. So that's why I have it in these two in the set right here, and you can easily access them by the swap relic button, which by default is G on PC. And as you can see, I can swap to what I need when I need it. So if I need to, like, say for example, climb up the cliff, I have my little gun here and my jetpack, so I'm ready to go explore if I need to. And if I'm about to go into combat, I swap to this set and I'll be good for that as well. And then the next thing I want to talk to y'all about is weapons, which you might already know, but you can have different weapon sets and they allow you to, you know, go into combat with different weapons that you need. You might need different elements for certain shields and all that. But I'd recommend making your different sets have different elements. For my first set, I have fire and Grievous as my main attacking weapons, and I have a healing weapon because I got lucky to pull her on my first 10 pull. Yeah, I got that. This set, I have a Grievous main weapon, and also I have a cryo weapon for this, and also sometimes you need cryo for your exploration. And for the last set, I still need to try these out, but I recently got the Thunder Blades, but this is like my main damage weapon is Thunder, and also I have my cryo gun as well, and the healing, because the healing from Venus is really good. And so with that, I'm going to move on to my last tip, which is actually the Simulacra. So if you go over here, you can see that, you know, you have different characters, you can activate them and then you'll become them, but the main thing you want about Simulacra is these traits. So these traits you get by getting awakening points. You give them gifts, you give the different characters gifts, you can swap between different characters that you want to give them gifts. Okay, in order to get the points that you need to buy gifts, you can do the different training things, which are the little things that pop up around the map. If you go over to the challenge and training, you can do the different trainings, and these are the points that you can use in order to get gifts. But also, if you go to here, you can also use energy crystal dust, which you get for spending vitality in some of the co-op stuff, and then you can get gifts here. I'd always recommend getting special gifts because these will give you 80 points always, and so you can kind of calculate how many gifts you need in order to reach a certain tier in the Simulacra with a character. So always get the special gifts because they will give you 80 points. You can see right here, I don't have any gifts right now, but if there would be gifts right here that I would choose, you can choose which gifts you want to give them. And the characters come with these different traits. And personally, with these traits, when I was looking through all of them, there's a few that I would recommend you try to go for first. The first one is Shido. So basically, after you use a skill or a discharge skill, you increase your attack and your physical attack for a little bit, which is actually really strong, especially once you get the upgraded version. It becomes even better, the trait. And so I'd recommend Shido as one of your first characters to level with awakening points, so that way you can get this damage boost, because I mean, this is free damage, you might as well get it. Another character I'd recommend, but I don't have yet, is Tsubasa and her traits. So basically every time she does damage, so I'm guessing you have to use her weapon, you gain a stack of Fear Strike, which gives you more attack, up to 15 stacks, and then I'm guessing it gets stronger. Yep, it gets stronger once you get the awakening points 4,000. And so that's another really good one as well if you want to give her gifts if you have her. And another one I'd recommend is Crow. Let's see. So you go to Crow. Basically, whenever you're not in a team, you do increased damage and you receive less damage, and then it increases whenever. And also you get an extra little passive for a Crow and his second trait upgrade, where whenever he enters combat, he increases the damage dealt by 12% for 12 seconds, which, I mean, free damage is always nice, can't complain. And also, for the last one I'd recommend, for the support mains out there, I'd recommend Coca Ritter, because whenever you get her traits, whenever she uses a support weapon, she increases the healing effect she inflicts on others and receives by 20%. And also, the second level of it, whenever she uses a support type weapon's discharge skill or weapon skill, she increases her nearby ally's attack by 15% for 5 seconds, which is nothing to scoff at. That's actually pretty alright. So yeah, those are the characters I'd recommend that you give gifts to first, so that way you can get the most out of your gameplay. And in order to activate their traits, you go over to the Simulacra and you use Simulacrum trait. So basically, if you don't have a character and their trait, it'll tell you no Simulacrum trait active yet. But if you do, you can turn it on right there, and there you go. And with all that out of the way, that'll be the end of this episode. Hopefully y'all got some useful knowledge out of that. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like because it helps me out, and subscribe because I will be uploading them. If you haven't, because I will be uploading more. If you have any suggestions for things that you want to know about, maybe some game mechanics that I can try out, or maybe like game modes you might not understand, let me know in the comments, and I'll look at those. With all the way, I want to thank y'all for watching, and until next time, have a good day.